Yo guys, what's going on? Mal here today, bringing you another Apex Legends video. Today we're going to be talking about the character Octane, my opinion on how to play the character, some tips and tricks, and also some opinions from pro players and what they think of the character in terms of kill races, competitive play, etc. So let's get right into it. So to start off, we all know the abilities of Octane. He has health regen, a speed boost, and a launch pad. The tricky part is how and when to use each ability that he has. So what a lot of people don't recognize is that Octane's abilities, while they seem very aggressive oriented, can also be played defensively. This clip right here is a good way to show you guys how you can use Octane defensively. You can use his launch pad to get out of tough situations. You can use his speed boost to get out of tough situations as well, complemented with B hopping. And here comes for my first tip. So if you're playing in the competitive scene, the Apex Pro Discord, any scrim type lobby where you're Q sniping, playing against other 3Qs of teams, one way to use the launch pad, while it's good for positioning and getting on top of buildings, getting that advantageous spot on your opponents, you can use the launch pad as almost the same way as a caustic trap to let you know that enemies are nearby. So to give an example, let's say that the zone is ending in Skull Town, a place where if you're turtling, there's usually an entrance and an exit, and usually some holes in your setup, where movement is very valued in order to stay alive and secure that top 3 spot. A way that you can disrupt the enemy movement is to place your launch pad at either the entrance or the exit of your setup. That way, if you hear a launch pad go off, you know that someone's either flanking you or in front of you, and you know that you probably disrupted their movement, giving you an advantage in a close quarters situation where movement is very high valued. Another great Octane tip involving his launch pad is to always try to position a launch pad so that it gives you the option to both engage and disengage. So to give an example, say a team has high ground on you and they're on the top of a hill. A good place to place your launch pad would be in the middle of the hill, giving you the option to either regain high ground on them by playing aggressively, while also giving you escape route in case that aggressive take does not work out so well. Thinking 2 steps ahead with the placement of your launch pad could save you and win crucial fights. So for my third Octane tip, we're going to be talking about his stim shot ability, which gives him a speed boost. While traveling faster is obviously more convenient and fun for looting, the most beneficial way, in my opinion, of using the speed boost is to be a distraction for your team. Making enemies miss can be a crucial factor in helping your team win a gunfight. If an enemy lasers you in the very beginning of a fight, you pop your Q and you start dodging their bullets, they may get greedy, step outside of their comfort zone and out in the open, and your team may be able to capitalize and take one of them out. Popping your Q while being shot at is definitely the most effective way of using the speed boost, especially when paired with B hopping. If you guys have not adapted to B hopping, you definitely should by binding it to scroll wheel. It is very easy. You don't have to be accurate with it at all. You can literally spam your mouse wheel up and down. It's not like Counter-Strike B hopping, so definitely get with the program in that case. Octane does not have a very small hitbox, but it is definitely small enough, especially when you are running at high speeds. Tracking someone that's moving faster than normal is definitely an odd thing to do, and you have to be very skilled in order to track someone at that speed, especially when they're jumping up and down. So those are my top 3 tips for how to play Octane. I really think that every other situation is circumstantial and reactionary. I really don't think that there are that many universal tips out there that can be applied to a wide variety of situations. One more tip could be that if you are low health and you're healing, pop your Q before your heal finishes so that you can get a speed boost and basically get full health regen, so you're running around with full health. That's all I have in terms of tips from me. Let's hear what other people have to think about the character. So I reached out to some of my pro Apex friends to see what they thought about the character in terms of competitive play, kill races, and even casual. And here's what some of them had to say.
What are your opinions on Octane for kill races like this? I mean, he wouldn't be bad. Definitely wouldn't be bad, but he doesn't bring any utility to the team. So, but I mean, honestly, in kill races, you don't really need a lot of utilities. But I mean, he'd be good for running around the map, but he'd be kind of so split that it'd just be kind of risky sometimes.
So as you can see here, my boy Ace does think that Octane can be useful in kill races due to his stim shot ability. But in terms of competitive play and team-oriented combat, he doesn't think that Octane is very viable, especially compared to other characters. Here are some other opinions that some pro Apex players have about Octane. Liquid Geesh says, I think Octane is definitely a viable character for comp. The all-in factor that he has is insane if you can get the damage down on a team prior to the push. For kill races, Octane is decent. He isn't superior by any means. He is just a run-in-the-mill champ in my opinion. Former Ghost Peesh says, I don't know, that character is kind of ass to be honest, so obviously Peesh is not a fan of Octane. Space Station Gaming pfitter said to me, okay, so my honest opinion is Octane can be useful for keeping up with your teammate and rolling as a pack in kill races, but he is useless until he has purple armor and a decent stack of bandages. He is not viable in scrims just because his ability makes him lose health, and his other one is for transport, but you don't have two good abilities. Wraith, Pathfinder, Bangalore is meta. So obviously Pfitter is not a fan of Octane in terms of competitive play, but in kill races he can be viable. SoaR RPR says, using speed boost is best when roaming freely or engaging. When you crack someone for a lot from afar, speed boost is a good way of closing distance fast. He also goes on to say that he thinks Octane can be used very well in competitive because this jump pad and super jumping can give you height in almost an instant, and he'd be willing to debate that it's safer than using a zipline. He has a good point, I'm not gonna lie. High ground is very effective when talking about positioning and competitive play, and Octane has the ability to gain high ground very fast. So the general consensus from these pro Apex players seems to be a little bit wishy-washy on whether or not he's effective in competitive play, but he can be used in kill races and some puggy style events where you're just running around due to his stim shot ability, which gives you extra speed. Well, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a few things from those 3 tips. If you're curious about how often I use Octane, I have about 3,000 kills with him this season, and I use him for aggressive montage type clips, so I'm not always playing the smartest with him, but I have tried him in some scrims, and I don't think he's that bad of a character. He's definitely a character you can have a lot of fun with, and I give him a montage rating of 10 out of 10. So if you're trying to hit some cool clips, I definitely think you should rock Octane. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please drop a like and subscribe and turn those notifications on to know when I upload next. And until next time, it's been your boy Mala, and peace.